Good evening. My name is Robert Kennedy. I live here in Livingston, right outside the town here on State Route 745. I am a parent of students at Nelson Middle School, Tigerville Elementary. I'm also the PTO president at Tigerville Elementary. And I want to talk about the Interlochen Festival that we had this weekend. I have a lot of dissension against it. One of my first points that I want to make is I didn't really appreciate that the schools were closed. I don't really care that the school had 2 days, the district had 2 days that they could transfer these 2 days to. That's irrelevant. The fact that this festival forced the closure of the schools, not good. You should never impact our children's education for any amount of profit in this county. Our SOL scores are hurting, and we can't take this kind of event and cut off education for money. The noise, very unacceptable. I live 2.5 miles straight line from this event, and I heard it very clear, up well past 1 o'clock. Not only did we hear the music, but we heard the illegal fireworks too. I've never been to a concert where the local governing body has allowed the noise ordinance to be violated beyond 11 p.m. That is not acceptable. I don't want to be kept awake because somebody wants to make a little profit. My comfort doesn't supersede their profit. My comfort supersedes their profit when it impedes my personal domain. Local businesses, I heard, were affected by this. We had reports of vendors, Interlochen people going into some of the local vendors and telling them, you don't want to sell to attendees. Don't sell to them. You cannot sell to them. How does that help our free market economy in our own county? We had a business that was denied their vendors were denied access to them. They could not make deliveries to them because they were on Oak Ridge Lane, a landscaping company. So Thursday and Friday, they could not take delivery of product that they were then going to resell. That affected their bottom line. There were also other businesses that closed early. Nobody came out. Nobody was here. No attendees went to our local businesses. Local residents left the county. Where did they go spend their money? Elsewhere. Residents that stayed didn't want to go out into perceived madness. So we've got reports of some of the businesses that are up to 40% down just this weekend in their regular revenue. There was no real opportunity. I was reading back through the minutes. I only saw twice where this came up, but you never had a public forum. You never let the people come out and really speak to you about this. If this is going to be permitted to go forward, you need to talk to the public and let the public come in here and talk to you. This is our community. We have a say. Only 2 people benefited from this directly right now, and that's Reagan Thompson and Dave Fred. Nobody else has. And I think you owe it to the residents of this county to talk to us and let us come forward and address this in a public agenda. So I'd like to see this on the agenda in the future, very near future, so it can be addressed properly. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm William Yeagle. I live in Ty River. I'm a member of Trinity Episcopal Church. I also attended the Interlochen Festival. I attended the Interlochen Festival. I would like to thank the Board of Supervisors for allowing this festival to go on. My church was able to do some significant fundraising through this event. Those funds will go to benefit the Nelson Kid Cares program, which is a backpack program that helps the students in this county. We will also be helping other ministry and mission objectives through our church. I'm not speaking for the church, I'm speaking personally, of course. But it was a nice venue. The police did a great job in some really challenging traffic, as we all know and we've all heard. I don't envy your position over the coming months to try to figure out the best way to handle that. Certainly you have a lot of challenges in front of you, but I personally would like to thank you for allowing it to go on, and I appreciate very much the opportunity to attend. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Adam Wilson. I live over on Wilson Road next to Oak Ridge Estate. We have a 200-acre farm that is surrounded by the estate, and my family's been down there for over 100 years. Got deep roots here in Virginia, and I was very proud to see the Lockn Festival come to our local area here. Just wanted to say a few things. Thank you for your comments.
Sir,
My family.
You need to address the board.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to pay my respects to Trinity Church. It's my family's church, and I appreciate the work that they did for the festival. I have a unique perspective as a county citizen with deep roots here, a neighbor of Oak Ridge, and a festival attendee. There were a few snacks, obviously. Those snacks can be worked out in the coming years if this is allowed to continue, which I very much hope it does. I think it's going to be great for the local economy. I spoke with a number of folks who actually did come to Nelson County, some 2 days early, some 3 days early, some more than that. Crabtree Falls was booked for a few days before the festival. Nellie's Ford got a lot of business from folks stocking up over there and going to the restaurants and the breweries. I met all sorts of professional people over there. There were 5 attorneys that I met, 2 doctors, a pro-life homeschooling born-again Christian conservative Grateful Dead fan, an assistant bar counsel for the Maryland Attorney Grievance Commission, a 35-year-old PhD, 35-year-old married guy who has a PhD in cancer research. He's the one that came down to Crabtree Falls, very nice fellow from Florida. And then another friend of mine that I met, he was an electrician, hardworking guy, came all the way up from Florida on the way to see some family in New York. I met some great people here. I had a lot of people tell me that they enjoyed their time here in Nelson County. They want to come back. Some of them stayed late. And I just wanted to say thanks for having this in our area. I think that there is a lot of mix-up as far as the economy and the business side of it goes. A lot of the businesses did stock up thinking that there was going to be more business than there was. But they didn't research the nature of this event. Most of the folks that come to these things stock up on their supplies before they leave home. They come in and they camp for 4 days. You're not allowed to leave when you are camping like that unless you had the day parking pass where you were not staying on grounds. So for us to have expected them to flock to all of our restaurants and businesses during the weekend, the expectation was way too high for that. However, after the daily progress report came out, I think it was Friday or Saturday, talking about the business slowdowns, they did not factor in the business pickups on Sunday night and Monday morning. I spoke with business owners myself in Arrington, Virginia, here. The Dairy Aisle just up the road there, and BP Colleen. Both owners of both businesses were extremely happy with the people that came through, the nature of the folks that shopped at their stores, and just the overall attitude of everyone that interacted with them. We had a lot of local businesses represented over there. We had a lot of local nonprofits represented, and we raised all sorts of food for the pantry in Nelson County here. It did not leave the county, did not go anywhere else. It was sent directly here. I just wanted to say that I think this festival has been amazing for our county. I think it will continue to be amazing for our county. And if anyone was to be inconvenienced by this thing, it is someone who lives on a road where there was a late night stage at the end of my dirt road. Multiple police blockades, which were very nice in letting me through. I had no inconveniences getting in or out. I did not hear the music too loud from my house, and I'm a mile away. So I just wanted to offer my unique perspective on that, and just to say thank you all for allowing this sort of thing to come to the county. I think it is wonderful for our culture, wonderful for our young people, and wonderful for our economy. Thank you.
Yes.
Rick Larkin, living there. My wife goes to Trinity Church, and they had a wonderful thing there. I mean, they did the sober locking, which everybody that came to it, which twice a day, was a lot of these people have problems, with alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. With this, bands and stuff like that. So, but they came twice a day and said, "This is beautiful. This is the nicest thing we've ever been to." As far as coming to a concert, because we have a nice place to go to and stuff like that. But it was a good experience. It was a beautiful place. It was Yeah, there were a lot of problems, you know, I mean, just with infrastructure and stuff like that. But they did a wonderful job, and they're doing a wonderful job cleaning up. They gave a lot of food today. The caterers and stuff like that gave a lot of food today, the food pantry and stuff like that. They called and said, "We got food. Can you take it?" So they did. You know, they're cleaning up good. They did a lot of infrastructure with Oak Ridge. And yeah, there were problems. You know, there were a lot of problems coming in. And there's problems, but nobody knew, you know, that they could get out and do the barrel house. They could do the, you know, they did, Trinity also did, you know, the James River Float Company came there. They were taking people from Trinity Church to go down to Town River to the Eagles place to go swimming and clean up. You know, and so you can spend $10 and go on the nasty showers they had. You know, which everybody, I mean, that's a lot of stuff there. Or you know, you can go down the river, $20 and swim. You know, for 30 minutes. And they made some money, and they gave it to, they gave a portion of it to Trinity Church for the outreach program. Trinity made a lot of money on the outreach programs that they got. Because people, and they allow people to come over there, you know, and say, hey, you know, it's a nice place. Let's do it. But I think it's pretty good. They got problems, you know. They got some stuff to work out. But I think it was a good thing. A lot of the locals didn't know any of the bands, which is you know, us old hippies know it. But I see you know, I've only been here 30-something years. You know, so I said people were born here in Nelson don't know all these hippie bands, you know, and stuff. But I thought it was great. You know, and I thought they were real good, you know, and I thought everybody was respectful. I don't think we had a whole lot of problems with, you know, it was a little, you just smell a little bit, you know, but it was nice. It was nice, and I think we can bring in a whole lot of money to the county. I think we got to do a lot to promote the local businesses, and possibly give local people a discount going in. You know, because it's a little expensive for local people, but it's really good overall. If you got that many bands, that many days, that's really a cheap price for it. I said once you got in there, it costs a lot because you had like food, ice, you know, stuff like that. You know, where a lot of the local people could have been selling that cheaper. You know, if they could go out, you know, people could go out and do it. But I think people were scared to, you know, and they didn't know they could do it. But I think it's really good, and I think the organizers were really good. They've been really respectful to everybody. They were definitely respectful to Trinity Church. I mean, they put a lot of work in it, making sure Trinity Church was, you know, because they're right there, you know, and when they did the interlocking, you know, well, the sober locking tent there, you know, but I think it's a good thing for the county. It's got some bugs, you know, which everything does first time, you know. Okay, good. All right, thank you. Okay.
How you doing, everybody? Todd Rath on the Blue Toad on 151. First of all, no festival should inhibit people's lives. We all know that. This was the first one. We need to fix some stuff. We heard some noise, complaints, yada yada. But that's the first thing. The first thing I noticed on Thursday, there was no need to cancel school. Ty River was the only school affected. I drove in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and there was no need to cancel any school at Ty River. But I'm sure you guys will address that. I was a vendor there, by the way, so I've been watching the internet blow up about this festival. there was a lot of complaints online from people that didn't even go. So it's really starting to bother me when I see stuff like that. Partially from a paper that's in this county that didn't even go. Because of what caused the lack of business on Route 29 and Route 151 was these comments online by these papers, these people, and just getting the storm started. That's what caused business at my pub. People weren't coming down 151. I talked to the Smacks of Blue Mountain, their numbers were off. They were off. And it wasn't because of anything that was going on 22 miles away. It was because of the, BS online. And it was BS. Because I drove in every single day to this festival and didn't even hit my brakes as I came around the corner. I went in perfectly fine Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and basically Thursday, because I blew by all the campers, showed them my badge, and went in. So I just want to get those facts on the record for you guys to make up your mind. We all need to understand something here in Nelson County. If it inhibits somebody here, we need to do something to make sure it's low impact. But another thing we need to understand is there's other counties and cities that would pay for a festival like this to be in their county. No question. No question at all. So we need to grasp this thing, control it the best we can to make everybody happy and profit from it. And let me give you a little math example. By the end of the festival, based on numbers that I heard from Virginia Eagle, which was the only beer distributor in there basically, they sold $900,000 in beer. Okay? Take 9.3% of it. It's let's just call it $80,000. Okay? Some's going to the state, some's going directly here. It's a couple teachers, it's something for the county, right? We're not gonna overlook this. So the tax revenue will be at least double that for food. Okay? So the Blue Toad Pub, we lost 30% of our normal revenue that weekend, through the week. I count the whole week because Monday, Tuesday's a throwaway day. The media started firing up on Wednesday, scared everybody away like ants. So the whole week was 30% off. What do you think we did inside of there to make up for that? We did 4.5 times the loss in revenue at the festival, which I'll march my big ass down here and hand $1,000 or something to the county in sales tax. That's just our little booth. We're the smallest vendor there. And there was an article in the Lynchburg Post or whatever that the only Nelson County business that was in there was the Blue Toad Pub. And that's ridiculous anyways, because there was a few others. But anyways, the reason I was in there is I saw the storm coming, and I got off my ass and I went in there and made sure I was going to be part of it. Businesses that didn't, they need to start getting their ducks in a row now and getting with people like Ben over at the Rock Barn who ran our local tent. Our local tent should be the biggest thing over there. It shouldn't be the smaller tent, it should be the biggest. We got 4 breweries, a cidery, 7 wineries, all sorts of stuff going on here. It should be the biggest. And we'll probably need your help to make sure it's the biggest. And that we bring the money back home. In that tent alone, the smallest tent there was 50 Nelson County residents employed in that tent that I saw, that I had time to count. And I'm glad I saw those comments on the internet because they made all these mental notes because I knew this was coming. Another thing the county has to understand here is that the type of festival this is, it's not a festival where people go to the show, take off, go get a bite to eat, come back. This is a camping festival. It's a Grateful Dead show on steroids, a fish show for 4 days. It's great. The thing we all need to do here is just make sure that the local businesses are lined up, tooled up, applied up, licensed up to get in there and serve these people. And I think Maureen's coming out with her report tomorrow, is that correct?
She gave a preliminary report, but it's gonna take a month to figure out tax revenues, et cetera.
Right, so can you give us an estimate of how much money's coming to the county?
We don't know that yet. She didn't give us those figures.
But it's safe to say for everybody, it's well into the 6 figures in tax revenue, right?
I can't answer that.
Well, just on beer, I know it's close enough. So when we add the food, it'll be better. So. I went through all I could go through. I hope those examples help you do whatever you need to do, but keep us informed of future forums.